What's up, guys? Welcome back to It's Not a Midlife Crisis. I'm Mid-Crisis Mama, and today is Thursday, which means it's Thursday Thrifts, and we're talking about things related to doing life on a budget. First, let me just say I'm a little bit under the weather, so excuse my voice and my lack of breath. Anyhow, if you've watched my earlier videos, one of the things that I mentioned was that I really needed to update my wardrobe. So I don't know, it's been a year and a half, 2 years since that last video, and I haven't made a whole heck of a lot of progress, but over time, when I had the chance to hit up my favorite thrift stores, I did find a few pieces here and there. Honestly, the majority of the things that I bought were things that didn't actually fit at the time that I bought them. So I'm super excited to say that at this point, I have a whole new wardrobe because I was able to break all that stuff out and retired the few pieces that I had been consistently wearing over the last couple of years and replaced them with some brand new stuff. One of the biggest challenges, if you are a plus size woman specifically, you understand how hard it is to find decent clothing. We don't have a whole heck of a lot of options, and that sucks, but you got to make do with what you've got, right? I've struggled with that since I was a kid. I remember in elementary school having to shop in the women's section. So, here I am in like 4th, 5th grade dressing like I'm a 40-year-old woman. And now I'm a 40-year-old woman really not wanting to still dress like one. So, but there's a lot of really cute clothes out with some new like online clothing places that I've seen. But again, this is about thrifting and doing things on a budget, and you just don't find that type of stuff at the thrift store. And if you do, you kind of hit the jackpot. But I'm going to show you some of the new pieces that I've introduced. These are by no means like the type of attire I'm really going for. Like I said, you're limited to what you can get when you're plus size, especially at a thrift store. So if I had my ideal wardrobe, it would be completely different. But we're doing one step at a time. So my first goal when updating my wardrobe was to start wearing more color, which today I failed to do that, but whatever. I had gotten so used to wearing black and gray and kind of trying to hide myself, and that was very reflective of how I felt internally, emotionally, mentally. I wanted to disappear. I didn't want the attention on me. I didn't want to stand out, and those blacks and grays made me feel like I could be somewhat invisible, I guess. I think most people probably understand what I mean by that. But so while I do still have a few pieces that are, black and gray or whatnot, the majority of what I've purchased does have more pops of color to it. So that's really what I'm going for. And I think that that really says a lot about my confidence, being able to put on pieces that I know are going to attract attention, and not saying that I want attention on me, but just the ability to wear it without my anxiety going through the roof and without feeling like I shouldn't be seen, if that makes sense. So back when COVID hit, I had this ugly purple shirt. While it wasn't black, it was this ugly, baggy purple shirt that I wore quite literally every day. And every time I left the house, it was like the only shirt that I had to leave the house in. What had happened was I didn't have really any weekend wear. I had what I wore full time at the office, and I wasn't going to wear dress clothes out. So when we did actually leave the house, that ended up being the only shirt that I had. And I think I actually wore that shirt to the office, but it was one of those that was like teetering on, business casual and sleep in it. I don't know. So, but I wore this shirt until it finally started to disintegrate. Let me back up. I wore the shirt until past the point that it finally started to disintegrate. And I think I mentioned in one of my videos about this purple shirt, and then I finally had to replace it because there was just no turning back. And this This ugly shirt is the shirt that I replaced it with. And I found the shirt specifically because it did the best job at hiding things at my size. And so it was comfortable. And this is like a 6X, I think. But anyway, it used to fit just fine, and now it's super huge, which is great. And I don't really leave the house much in this unless it's just one of those days that, you know what, I just don't care. So, because it's still really comfortable, but I had to replace it. It's not something that I really should be seen in anymore. So another thing that I'm really trying to work on is when I do leave the house is caring about what I look like when I leave the house. I think it's great not to care what people think to an extent. But if you don't care what people think because you don't care about you, that's different. If you don't care what people think because you're just that confident, then awesome. That was not my thing. My thing was I stopped caring about me, and I stopped caring about all things about how I presented myself when I walked out of the house. So that is what I have to focus on changing. So I have gotten better at making sure that I'm actually wearing something decent when I leave the house, that I don't look like I just rolled out of bed, you know, starting to care a little bit more about my appearance. And it really does change the way that you feel about yourself. You know, you walk taller, you smile more, you make eye contact with people. When I would leave the house before, you know, I don't want to make eye contact with people. Again, you walk around kind of feeling like, you know, or hoping that you're invisible to people, which obviously you're not, but you're just kind of hoping that you can just not be seen by people and go do your thing and make it back home without anybody knowing that you even exist on the face of this earth. And it's a very sad place to be in. And I'm so grateful that I'm not there anymore. But so anyway, this, you know, had to get replaced as well. So I'm not great at editing yet, so I don't know if when I'm done with this video I'm going to be able to talk while I'm showing you a slideshow, or if I'm going to have to pause this and just walk you through some pictures, so I apologize. But I'm just going to take you through some of the things that I have in my wardrobe now. And like I said, this is nothing fancy. I'm not showing anything off. I'm just kind of holding myself accountable to keep you guys updated. And I look at this kind of the same way that I look at my weight. This is my starting point. This is my first attempt at like getting to that next milestone of the bare, empty, or black and gray closet that I had before, and just making improvements. And eventually I will get to my ideal wardrobe, and man, I'll walk you guys through a fashion show once I get there, but that's a ways down the road. For now, I'm just going to show you some screenshots of the clothes that I've got now. Also, if you've watched an older video, you know that I walked you through some of my history of bad fashion choices from the time that I was a kid. So this isn't new. I've struggled with this my whole life. It's funny because in my head, I have this idea, and I feel like, you know, I could be this really fashionable person. Like, I actually love fashion. I do. And I admire those that have great fashion sense. And I just haven't had the confidence not only to pursue anything with fashion, but to try to dress myself fashionably. I love looking at, you know, certain trends and, you know, colors and matching things and blah, blah, blah. The way that I dress doesn't reflect anything that's up here in my head. And one day I hope that it will. I really want to get there. So again, this is just a log, a journal of, hey, this is my starting point. So, one day I'll be able to show how far I've come when it comes to the way that I dress and all that kind of stuff. Another thing that I have to update are my shoes, and I don't have any current pictures of any of that, but my shoe selection, not so much. I've never really had more than like 1 or 2 pairs of shoes. I have a pair of tennis shoes and I'd have like a pair of dress shoes, and that's pretty much it. So, some people have got a different pair of shoes for every outfit, and, I would love to be a shoe person. I just haven't been. And on top of that, I've got big feet, so it's harder to find shoes that actually fit me because I typically wear like an 11 and a half in women's, and you just don't have that many options when you've got big feet. So what are you gonna do, right? If you guys have any tips on where to find cute plus size clothes, please share. Let me know. Not everything has to be thrifted. This is what today is about, but eventually, I think when I get to a pretty maintainable weight goal, where I feel like I'm comfortable, I'm happy, and I'm going to stay about that size for a while, I plan to take myself on a shopping spree. I'm going to do the whole mom makeover, head to toe, do the whole 9 yards. So that day is not going to be thrifted. I'll probably still have some thrifted items, but I deserve it. So I'm going to take myself out and we're going to make a whole day of it. And that's going to be an awesome day. And I'm really looking forward to that. But until then, like I said, please share your tips on where I can go and find some cute pieces, because over time, I'm going to continue to swap this stuff out. These are for now items. As I lose weight, I'm going to have to, which is awesome. It forces me to have to get some new stuff. But I would like to improve the items in my wardrobe, not just replace them. So hopefully things start to look a little bit better as far as my presentation. Not just things that, wearing to work, but just out. It's been awkward for me to find like weekend wear. Like I want to actually look cute when I walk out the door on the weekend and not look like I've been cleaning my house. Hopefully that makes sense. That's it for today's update. If you don't already follow me on social media, please check me out on It's Not a Midlife Crisis on Instagram and Facebook. And one of these days I'll figure out how the heck to use TikTok. Hopefully I'll have some content to put up there. And if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button below. Content will get better over time, guys, I promise. Like I said, this is brand new to me. I'm just getting started, but I'm sharing my life here. And I thank you all for those who are here at the beginning. And I'm excited to see how far this is going to go. So if you have any tips, tricks, suggestions, topics, things you want to talk about, things you'd like to know about me, let me know, and I'll put in some I'll put it in some upcoming content. All right, guys, you have a fabulous day. Bye.